Welcome to episode 5 of Landon's Guide to High School Math. I'm Landon, I'm your host, and today, we're doing the Pre-Algebra course. We are still on ratios and rates, and this will be part 3 and the last part on this unit. We will be doing ratio applications and intros to rates, and then we will take the unit test to see how we do. So, let's go ahead and get started with section 3, ratios on coordinate plane. Maggie walks at a constant speed. Maggie plots points on the coordinate plane below to show amounts of time it takes her to walk certain distances. So yes, we will have a lot of graphs in Algebra 1. So if you don't know how to do graphs, then you might want to learn them because you will be thrown a lot of graphs in Algebra 1. So, here we go. So we're talking rates. So the way I do it, remember that we use a term called slope, and the slope is the rise over the run. The rise over the run is how much you're going up or down. So since we're moving right when we go up like this, is this going to be a positive or a negative line? It's a positive because see how we're exponentially growing up? As 1 goes up, as we can see, this is going to the right, so that's going up, and this is going up, so yeah. So this is a direct proportion. So we move up from here, and then we move to the right. Now, if this was going down, you do the other way around. But let's calculate our rise. So we start from 20, and we go up to here, and we lay that over 25. So now we do 25 minus this point's on the 20. 20, and what is that going to be equal to? 5. Good job. So 5 will be for that. And now, so this is our rise. And now for our run, now we do how much distance is this. So we start from 4 because this is on 4. And we can also do it like, here's another way we can express rise over run. We can also do run and then rise. No matter what we do, rise will be over run. So we know this is 5 already. I just moved it over to a different spot. But now we just have to evaluate from here, 4, and then to here, 5. So that would be 5 minus 4. What will this be equal to? 1. So we know that our rise is 5, and we know that our run is 4. So that means we take 5 over 1, and anything divided by 1 is itself. So it's 5. Which means that the slope of this line right here, it must be equal to 5. It must be. So we take 5. That's our slope. We know that now. So now what do we use that? We need to get one of these points that could be on the graph. So we can start from any point. Let's start from this point, 210. So we have 210. So what this basically means is that we're going to apply that slope. So now we're going to go up 5 and then move over 1. So if I go up 5 from 10, what will I be if I do this and I get to here and then I move to the right? What point will I be? I will be on 315 because remember, the rise is the y, okay? Rise is y. And the run is x. So you can also do it as y over x. So when we gain 5 y's, then we get 1, 1. So 5 y's over here and 1, 1. So it's 315 for right there. If I know that the x, because remember, every point has an input and an output. If we know that x's input is 315, are we going to have 318? No. So A is not correct. Let's see here. 630. That we know that x is right here, and we know that 30 is right here. That must be our point. What if we try going from here and see if that's a point? Let's try it. We go 5 and then 1. Do we land on the point? Yeah, so 630 is a point. So Maggie can add 630 to the graph, and she can also add 315. What if we try going down? Let's see. We do 1, and then we do 5. Because remember, we can also go counterclockwise. It doesn't matter. Now, I drew that pretty bad, but where are we going to end up? 1, 5. And if we do that again, we'll just end up right here, 0, 0, or otherwise just the origin. And make sure to use parentheses, because I don't want your teacher to scream at me because she told you to use parentheses. Use parentheses. That is very, very important when you are doing these graphs. See, Khan Academy, they put parentheses on every single one. So if you got that right, great job. If you didn't, here's the videos, and happy studying. And remember, you can always pause videos if you need to. And if you want help, you can always ask me. Here is the solution. And yes, it's pretty long, but I'm trying to get you to do it as long as fast as possible. Okay, so let's use the same strategy here. Let's do a speed round this one. So we go rise, run, because we know it's slope. Okay, how much do we go from here to here? We take 150 minus 100, and we get 50. Good, so that means 50 is our rise. And then we move over, so we go from 2 to 3. So 3 minus 2 is 1, so that means 50 is our slope. Do you understand? And we are going right, so that means we know it's going to be a positive. So we can start from here. How many layers are in one brick? So we want, no, one layer, one layer. So we want to get this, because see how we have layers in one? So now we have to go opposite. Let's see here. We have 1 and then 50, because remember that we have 50 for the y and 1 for the x. So where are we going to end up? 150. And since we already know that we have 1, how many bricks are we going to have? 50. Good job. 50 is our answer. Great work. Yay. You guys did it. And yes, we can also divide by ratios, which, you know what? Actually, let's try that on our next problem. Let's do our next question. And then here we go. So let's see here. Callan goes for a hike every Saturday. Callan hikes at a rate of 6 kilometers an hour. Clean up the table for the given ratio. So we are given that the rate is 6 kilometers an hour. So we have 1 hour and 6 kilometers. So that means that we are already given that the slope is going to be 6. All we have to do is apply it. So we have 1 and 6, which is given. So we're going to put that onto the apply. And it looks like they already gave us that. And we are also given that we're going to have a 3 and a 4. So let's go ahead and just put that to the points right now. Okay, 3 and 4. And now what we want to do is we want to multiply each by this given. So what times what will give 3? 3, good job. If you didn't get that, then I suggest watching one of my previous videos. But we can always go over it some other time when we're reviewing for the final. 6 times 3, that is 18. See where I got that? I got times 3, so you must do times 3 no matter what. Meaning that 3 will be for 18, right here. And, you know, actually, we can actually just add 6 since we're taking plus 4. So we know this is going to be 18, and then we get 18, and then if we're adding 4, we are going to add 1 more hour. So plus 6 is equal to 24. So this will be our final graph. For this next one, I probably should have let you guys have a chance. Oh, didn't answer this part. I'll let you guys have a chance, if possible, to answer a graphing problem, but... So, here we go. So, here's the answer explanation. If you got that right, good job. If you didn't, here's the video. If you need help, ask me, and happy studying. Okay, Briggs is planning to make a batch of homemade Play-Doh for an art project. Briggs plots points on the coordinate plane below to show the amount of salt he needs for different amounts of waters. Which of the following order pairs could Briggs add to the graph? So, let's see what we're given here. We have, Okay, so we're definitely going positive because it's going this way, right? We have plus here. Because when this goes right, this goes up, so that's a direct proportion. And now we have, let's see what our slope could be. Let's take these 2 points, for example. So we get, let's see here, we get move up 1 and then move right. So so it looks like we've gone up, how many times? 0.5, that's kind of unusual. Because take a look at this, we have 2 and 3, but then we have this little spot right in between. I don't know if you guys can see it, I'll go ahead and zoom in. It's right, okay, I can't draw, but see where the thing is with the, here, actually I'll take a screenshot of this and then I'll show you guys. So look at where this thing is. We have this point right here, and I probably should use a different color. Here we go. Okay, so like, notice where, okay, so if I just go ahead and draw, Like, notice how this thing corresponds to here, which is 2.5. And this thing then goes up to 3. So we're subtracting decimals here. So when we subtract decimals, we typically take the number and then add a 0.0. Because remember, because 3.0 is equal to 3, because you'll always have invisible zeros. So 3.0 minus 2.5. Now we can use a calculator, but let's try it the traditional old-fashioned way. We can do 0 over 5 is 5, and then take out a 9 here. And then we can take 1 from 2, so then we get 0.5. So that means that the rise must be 0.5. So, delete that. We know that the rise is going to be 0.5. And then we have a run, which is 5.6. So that's going to be over 1, because we have rise over run. And that will be equal to, well, anything divided by 1 is itself, right? So the ratio will be 0.5, which means that every time we go up 0.5, we gain 1. So to make sure we have no fractions, I'll actually write it as 1/2. So this will be our slope, 1/2. So let's go ahead and apply it. So let's see here. Okay, 9. Ooh, that's actually the next one up. Let's see if we can bag 1 already. So if we go up 1, then right here, what will we end up at? 9, 4.5. There we go. We got lucky there. So that's our answer. And remember, you can always pause if you want to answer. Just saying. Okay, if you got that answer right, then good job. And if you didn't, here is the video. And happy studying. And yeah, honestly, you can even just like draw a line with like a ruler, connect the points, and then you can kind of just make like you can make like a educated guess to like where it could be, and then you could try that first. So that's kind of a way we can do it. Okay, so that's the end of that one. Let's go ahead and do this next one. Ratios and units of measurement. Complete the table, we might need calculator. Okay, well, let's try this without a calculator, just to see how this goes. Complete the ratio table to convert the units of measure from ounces to grams to ounces. So let's see what we're given here. We're given that 1 ounce is equal to 28 grams. So what do we get if we multiply... Okay, 1 times something is 3. What is that number? It's 3. And then 28 times 3, what will that equal? So if we do a little bit of math here, because I know this could be a little hard, I believe it's 84. So that's just kind of from my insight and kind of from Abacus. So 84 is this first one. And now, let's check this out. Notice how 28 and 1, 28 and 1, and 84 and 3? Hey, wait a minute. These things are equal to each other. We must know that 140 over x is equal to 28 over 1 and 84 over 3. For this last one, we can cross multiply, correct? So let's try with a smaller fraction. How about, I'm going to use green from now on. I like green more. I think green's more ideal. Okay, let's do 20 over 1 and 140 over... No, I'll use black. Black's a little better. Okay, 140 over x. So we use cross multiplication. So 28 over x, 28 times x is just 28x. Because remember, in the last video, we discussed that anything times a variable is just itself and the variable. And then anything times 1 is equal to 140. And now to get rid of this 28 here, we have to divide each side by 28. Because remember, it can be 28 times x and etc. Just go ahead and check my previous video if you want more review on that. So we do 28 on both sides, and then we get x. It's going to be equal to, I'll give you guys a little mix, and know it's going to be hard, 5. So that means that our remaining blank must be 5. So let's put it in. Boom, bada bang, bada boom. And then we do times 3 and then times 5. Or we could also just do cross multiply. Who knows? If you got that right, great job. If you didn't, here's the video, and happy studying. Alright, let's do a speed round for the next one. Oh, never mind. Okay, there are about 30.5 centimeters in a foot. There are 3 feet in a yard. How many centimeters are in a yard? So let's take a look at this. So we have 30.5 in a foot. Let's just represent as 1. And then 3 feet in a yard. So let's try to calculate yards. So we can put 3 feet as, this is feet. So we are going to cross multiply here again. So let's cross multiply 30.5 times 3. What will that be equal to? 91.5. And then 1 times x is 1x or just x. And hey, there you go. That's our answer, 91.5. C. Great work, everyone. Here's the multiplication. And, oh yeah, so you can do 305 tenths here. That's a good way to interpret it. So if you got that right, good job. If you didn't, here's the video. And happy studying, everyone. You guys are doing amazing. I'm so proud of you. Okay, the double number lines show the ratio of feet to miles. How many feet are in 3 miles? Okay, so let's first calculate how much feet are in 1 mile so we can get a little insight. So we have 10,560 over 2. And hey, we don't even have to cross multiply this time. Let's just divide 10,560 over 2. So what will this equal? 5,280. Yeah, 5,280. So that's how much there is, and since we only need 3 miles, we know that we'll have to add this by 10,560. So 10,560 plus 5,280 is equal to, let's go ahead and use the addition strategy. So we have 0, 6, and 8. 6 plus 8 is 14, so we put a 4. Carry the 1 up here. 5 plus 2 plus 1 is 8. And then 5, and then 1. So the answer is 15,840. So let's put it in. And kablamo, we did it! Alright, so, yep, we divide by 2, and then they multiply by 3, but since we were already given that there are 10,560 in 2 miles, we can just add up 3. But that's another way you can do it, and some people learn that way. So, yeah. If you got that right, great job. If you didn't, here's the videos, and happy studying. Okay, this last one, I'm going to have you guys take a crack at by yourselves, and then we will explain it together. A mirror can run 15 kilometers in 1 hour. How many kilometers can a mirror run per minute? There are 60 minutes in an hour. Okay, let's discuss this together. So, let's see here. So, 15 an hour, there are 60 in an hour. So, 15 in 1 hour. And there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So, let's just put this as 60 because take a look at this. We have 1 hour and then 60 minutes. So it's like comparing apples to oranges. But in this way, it will work. So let's cross multiply again like we have been. 15 times 60 is 900. And then 1 times x is 1x or just x. And hey, there's our answer. 900 kilometers a minute. Oh, wait, what? Oh, my bad. Okay. My bad, that's my fault. I was going to say, is he even human? Man, that's my fault. Okay, so yeah, we need an hour here, and then we need to put 60. So, let's see here. We need to figure out how many we can do a minute. So actually here we need to put over 60, because we can substitute 60 for 15 over 1. So now, let's go ahead and try this again. 15 over 60, I put that for no reason. Let's reduce this ratio, actually. So what can this be reduced to? Well, if we divide by 5 on both sides, we will know that we get 3 over 12, which can't be, well, it can be reduced, though. 3 over 12, if we divide that by 3, and then divide this by 3, we get 1 over 4. We could have divided it by 15, but that's kind of my way of looking at the problem. So 1/4, so what is that in a decimal? What is this in a decimal? 0.25. And remember, a whole number is always equal to 1. So if you see a ratio where the denominator is bigger than the numerator, it is never bigger than 1. So that means that A is our answer. So great job. If you got that right, good job. Here's the division. Here's the answer explanation. And here is the video, and happy studying. 15K in an hour, that's really impressive. Like, I don't even know if some people can even run that. I mean, you'd have to be a very serious athlete. Okay, let's move on. Okay, part whole ratios. Ooh, we're getting really into this. In a certain card game, for every 4 blues, there are 3 yellows. There are a total of 84 blue and yellow cards in the game. How many blue cards are in the game? So let's take a look at this. So we have 4 blue and we have 3 yellow. So we have 4 blue and 3 yellow. And we don't know what this equals. There are a total of 84 blue and yellow cards in the game. So, how do we solve this? Well, if we take ratios and we can do 4 and 3, then we can add these to get 7. So, that means that we will have 7 for that one. And then 84 over 7, give me a moment, I might need this. 84 over 7, if we take that number, we will get 12. So that means we must have 12 for there. So we must have 12 pairs. So if we multiply 4 by 12, we will get 48. And then if we multiply 3 by 12, we will get 36. And hey, take a look at this. We have 48 and 36. That is equal to 84. We're looking for the amount of blue cards. That is this number right here, since it's 4 times 12. So there must be 48 blue cards in that game. So let's take a look at this. Yep, here's the answer explanation. If you got that right, good job. If you didn't, here are the videos. And happy studying. You can always ask me, yada yada. Callie had a total of 21 solid and striped balloons at her birthday party. The tape diagram shows the ratio of solid balloons to striped balloons. Complete the table. Let's see what we got here. So looks like we have 4 blocks for solid and 3 blocks for stripes. So if you want to watch my previous video, you'll see more diagrams just like that. So anyways, let's go ahead and move along. Okay, so we have 4 solid balloons. That is actually just given to us. So how many striped balloons do we have for the party? Which is the whole size. 7. So we have 7. Oh wait, 21? Oh, I see what we got here. 21 solid and striped balloons. So that means that every single block of this, there's 7 of them. We need 21 over 7 to see how much will be in each box. And remember, it'll all be equal. So what is 21 over 7? 3. So in every single solid balloon and striped balloon, there will be a quantity of 3. So 3 in each box. Let's just call these boxes. So there's 3 in every box. So 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So that means that if we have an original ratio of 4, then that means that we have, how many solid balloons do we have in total? We have 12, and we know that we have 21 in total. So we will equal this to our original ratio. So let's just remove this. We don't know if 7 is going to be the answer. It might be, but who knows? Let's not assume. Let me just make sure. There we go, much better. Okay, and then we do, since we still have 12 over 21, we have 4 over x. So we're going to do our good old-fashioned cross multiply. We know we love cross multiplying. We know what we are doing. 12 times x is 12x, because remember, all ratios. And then we have 21 times 4, which is 84. Good job. And then divided by 12, since we want to get this x alone. And what will that equal to? Give you guys a moment to think. It is 7. So, yeah, we are indeed correct. So, okay, striped balloons. So now we're doing the exact same thing. More cross multiplying. How exciting. I love cross multiplying. Okay, so let's see here. So we have 3 for every striped balloon. So if we have 3 striped balloons, we will have 9, because 3 times 3 is 9. So we have 9 over 21, which is the total. And then we want to get Okay, we want 3, because it's given here 3, over x. So, more cross-multiplying. Let's do this. 9 times x is 9x. You guys are nailing this down. 21 times 3 is 63. Divide by 9. And what do you get? X is 7 again. Amazing. Okay, total balloons. Okay, so balloons at the party is 21. And, okay, total balloons. So, now all we have to do is we have to find a number that will add to 21. So, if we already know our ratios, then the total balloon for the original ratio is, let's see, we got 7 balloons, 7 here, because we determined that from the last time. So, that means that 7 must be our, okay, I probably just got that last one wrong. Give me a second. Times 3. Oh, wait, that does make sense. I am so dumb. Okay, so let's try that again. We are multiplying by 3 for each side. So that means that for every single one of these, we will have 21. So, no, I just multiplied by 7. That's my fault. Okay, so 3 times 3 is 9. So this is our final answer here. Here's the situation. That's okay. We will do a bonus problem at the end of this. So if you got that right, good job. If you didn't hear the videos, and happy studying. Okay, next problem. Colton has watched 2 comedy movies for every 3 other movies. He has watched 30 total movies. Complete the table. Okay, so we have 2 for every 3, and he watched 30 in total. So let's first find out this ratio. So we want 2 for every 3, and he has watched 30. So we want, okay, so this is our ratio here. This is our key ratio. So if we have 2 comedies, and we want the number that Colton has watched, so for every 3 other movies. So that means that we are taking 2 and 3. So the number, which is 2 plus 3, 2 times 3 actually, so this will be equal to, no, it's 2 plus 3, which is 5. So number Colton has watched for the original ratio is 5 for comedy movies. No, wait, no. If we know that it's a total, we want our number to add up to 30. So this is incorrect. So other movies, so we want a total, we want to cross multiply here. So we want 2/3 is equal to something over 30, so we need to cross multiply again. 3x is equal to 60, so if we divide 3 on both sides, x is equal to 20. So that means that we want one ratio to equal to that number, so we have 20 over 2 is, because look at this, I took it from the original ratio, 10. Good job. So now we have 10 here, and then for every 3 other movies, we want to get our ratio over here. So it would actually be 30 over 2, actually. Wait, no. It would be 30 over 2. So we want our numbers to be equivalent. It's 15. So if we want 15, and then we have our original ratio, then we will get 5. So, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? 5 total movies. So we are multiplying 6. So 6 times as many comedy movies. Okay, I completely understand. So let's go ahead and try this again. I am so sorry, guys, because remember, I am learning this live with you, so this is kind of a experience for both of us. So there were 24 teams at a soccer tournament, and all 12 teams wore red shirts, 6 wore blue, 4 wore orange, and 2 teams wore white shirts. Okay, so match the following ratios to what they described. So let's see what we're doing here. Ooh, I see what we're doing here. So we want to find the ratio that describes each one. So let's see. The ratio of teams wearing orange to teams wearing blue. So orange to blue. So let's find orange and blue. So that is 4 over 6, because whatever is first is always the numerator. And then, is this proper? Nope, since they're both even, we have to divide by 2. And that is from my last video. So 2/3. So that means our first one must be 2/3. Okay, and next up. The ratio of teams were in red to total teams. So let's see here. 24 total teams. And then no, that's white. 12 were red. So since we have red first, red will be our denominator. And then what will this give us? 1/2. Good job dividing 12 on each side to get this proper fraction. So that means that this is good, which means that by process of elimination, ratio of teams wearing white to total teams is correct, and this is because 2/24 is indeed 1/12. So this is correct. So here's the answer explanation. If you got that right, good job. If you didn't, here are the videos, and happy studying. Great work, everyone. At the newest animated movie, for every 9 children, there are 4 adults. There are a total of 39 children and adults in the movie. So, same strategy. We have 9C plus 4 adults, and there's a total of 39. So, what we want to do here is we want to find the amount of children and adults. So we want to do 39 over, 9C plus 4, no, not D, A. And then we have a total of 39. So we need to find 2 numbers that will, so our final answer should add up to this number, and it should be equivalent. So we can always plug and chug, but I think we're gonna have to show some work here. So let's see. For every 9, there are 4. So if we do this equivalent fraction, we need to make sure that there are an appropriate amount. What if we multiply 2 for both of these first? What will we get? 18 and 8. Will this equal 39? Nope. Let's try again. How about we do 3 instead? 9 times 3 plus 4 times 3. Will this be equal to? Well, first, let's see. 9 times 3 is 24. 4 plus 3 is 12. Will this be equal to 39? Yes, indeed. And we want children, which is this number, because 9, 9. So that means there are 27 children in the movie. So this is correct. So, yep, here's our ratio. If we multiply 3 times, we get our ratio. So, if you got that right, good job. If you didn't, hit the videos and have a second. And honestly, so my strategies are kind of more speed-based and less accuracy-based. So this is kind of the deal. It's trying to help you, but also to strive for success at the same time. At a pond, there were 24 ducks swimming. The table diagram shows the ratio of all ducklings to adult ducks. So let's see here. 5 plus 1 is 6. So that means that we need to multiply these by 4. So let's do this. 5 plus 1 is 6. We know that. And then we multiply each by 6. So 1 times 6 is 6, and 5 times 6 is... No, times 4. That's my fault. It's because, remember, 24 divided by 6 is 4. We know that, right? Very good. Okay, so 1 times 4 is 4, and 5 times 4 is 20. And see how it all adds up here? Which means that we know that this is going to be correct. So these are actually freebies. I was just being dumb earlier. If you got that right, good job. If you didn't, here are the videos. And happy studying. Okay. At the zoo, for every 6 adult camels, there are 5 baby camels. There are a total of 44 adults and baby camels at the zoo. So let's first add these up. We have 5 and 6, which is 11, and then 44 over 11 is equal to, if we learn from my last video, we have this, and this. They are all the same numbers, which means that we are going to have the same number as well. So 4, 4, and 1, 1. Anything over 1, 1 for these two numbers means that we must have 4. So now we'll multiply this by 4 and this by 4. So if we multiply both of those by 4, we will get 24 and 20. Well, no, 20 and 24, respectively. That's better. Okay, so let's check. Awesome. If you got that right, good job. If you didn't, here are the videos. And happy studying. Good job, everyone. Okay. So that is the end of section 3. Now I want you guys to take quiz 3, and then when we're done, we will move on to section 4, and then the unit test, and that will be the end for that video. Okay, so if you guys are ready, okay, so I know we're proficient or master, but I just want to test you guys. So, now, okay, so if we're ready, here we go. Your quiz starts now. Okay. This is the answer if you got that. Good job. The answer is this if you got that right. Good job. Here's the simplification one. And the answer is 9 if you got that right. Good job. The answer is 25 if you got that right. Good job. Make sure to pause. Make sure to pause. Here's the answer. If you got that right, good job. Okay, very, very good, everyone. We have finished quiz 3, which means now we only have one more section for this entire unit. So here we go. Unit rates. Rachel types 162 words in 3 minutes. How much words did Rachel type per minute? This is really easy. So a rate is just its slope. It's basically what we've been learning. So all we have to do is divide this by 3, and then that's the rate. So what is 162 over 3? 54. Good job. So that's our answer. That's it. That's all you have to do. So now we just have to do that for all other problems. So if you got the right, good job. If you didn't, here's the videos and happy studying. So that's all we do. That's all we do. Let's just do a speed round, okay? The following table shows the cost for 4 fruits. For example, apples cost $6 for 5 pounds. Which type of fruit has a cost of $120 per pound? So we have to do $120 per pound. So let's do 6 over 5. So, okay, so we need to evaluate this into a decimal. To do so, we need to understand that decimals are numbers where if it's greater than 1, then we know that the denominator is greater than 1 as well. So, since bananas is less, we know that it's not b. Let's try 6/5. So, one way I want to do this is with 5. If we multiply this into a more improper fraction, this may look wonky, but now dividing by 10 is just moving the decimal 1. So this is equal to 1.2. Do you see how I did that? The decimal is invisible right here because 12 is equal to 12.0. Move it 1 to the left and that's 1.2. And since we're talking money, 1.20. And hey, what do you know? 120 per pound. So A must be our answer because we have 120 right here. So let's check that. Good. If you got that right, good job. And if you didn't, here's the videos and happy studying. We will have to do this, so this may take a little bit of work, and there is a lot of questions. Okay. Jen buys 4 tires for $272. Each tire was the same price. What is the cost of 1 tire? So let's see here. 272 over 4. We do the same thing. So go ahead and pause the video and do the math. So what will this be equal to? 68. So that's our answer. So 68 is the answer. Good job. If you got that right, good job. If you didn't, here's the videos. And happy studying. A baker decorates 42 cupcakes in 30 minutes. She decorates cupcakes at a constant rate. How many cupcakes can the baker decorate per minute? So we have 42 over 30. So this will be a decimal. So let's see here. We have 21 over 15. Do you see how I got that? I divided by 2 on both sides. And then is there any more? Yes, indeed. We can divide by 3 here. This will be equal to 7 over 5. So 7/5 cupcakes. But we have a 5 here, so we can multiply by 2. So we have 7 times 2, which is 14, and then we just get 10. And divided by 10 means we move the decimal points one to the left. So we will get 1.4. So it should be 1.4 cupcakes. Great, great, great job, everyone. We are doing amazing. If you got that right, good job. If you didn't, here's the videos. And happy studying. The following table shows the number of heartbeats for 4 animals. For example, the pig's heart beats 225 times in 3 minutes. Which animal's heart beats at a rate of 65 beats per minute? So now we're looking at specific beats per minute. So now we just have to find 65. So let's do 225 over 3. So what is this equal to? 75. So it is not going to be a pig. 180 over 4. What is this equal to? 45. So it's not the horse either. What about the cow? 520 over 8. And see what I'm doing here? When it comes per minute, minute is the denominator. If it was like how many minutes per beat, which I don't know why anyone would ask that, but just to let you know, that's why I'm getting those fractions. So 520 divided by 8. 65. There we go. The answer is C, cow. So that is our answer. Great job, everyone. All we have to do is just divide by the numbers, and then we get our answer. If you got that right, good job. If you didn't, here's the videos, and happy studying. Okay. Celia bought a 12 bag of 12 goldfish for $3. What is the cost of 1 goldfish? So here's what I'm saying. Like, we have the cost of 1 goldfish, so not how much is each goldfish worth. We're looking at the cost of 1 goldfish. So we know that it's $3 for 12. Now we want to get 1. So we need 12 to be 1, which means that we're taking 3 over 12. And we want this as a decimal because that's how money works. So first, let's take this into a proper fraction. So let's divide each side by 3. So this will give us 1 over 4. And now to get a decimal, we need to divide. So 0.25. And it will be a little complicated for me to explain decimals because it's kind of based off like a certain 100 scale. Because anything over 100, x is going to be the decimal. So if you want to do 100 over 4, that will give 25, which means you'd have to multiply 25 to each one. But then you have to move it down here. So it's this number, and then you move the decimal point 2 times. So that's how I got 25 cents, or 0.25. So if you got that right, good job. If you didn't, here are the videos. Happy studying. And I can leave a link for no, never mind. Just search up like how to convert fractions to decimals, or even I can do it. I mean, I can teach that as like a separate video. It's on from Pre-Algebra. Okay, Delilah does 184 jumping jacks in 4 minutes. She does her jumping jacks at a constant rate. How many jumping jacks can Delilah do per minute? We have 184 over 4. What will this be equal to? 46. So 46 jumping jacks per minute. So that is our answer. Just divide by 4. So those should be freebies when you're taking the pre-algebra unit tests. So if you got that right, good job. If you didn't, here's the videos, and happy studying. Okay, only 2 more, and then we're done for the entire unit. You guys are doing amazing. I believe in you. Let's keep going. Rate problems. Okay. Amanda can jog 18 miles in 5 hours. At this rate, how many miles can Amanda jog in 4 hours? So the trick here is to divide by 5 and then multiply by 4. So what we can actually do here is we can do cross multiply. So let's try this. So let's do it. So 18 times 1 is 18. And then 5 times 4 is... Well, wait, no. Hang on a second. That's only the case if we're adding. We are multiplying here, which means we can just multiply as per is. So we want this in 5 and then 4. So 18 times 4 is 72. And then 5 times 1 is 5. And then 72 divided by 5 is... So remember, when we're doing 5, we want to multiply each side by 2, and then move the decimal 1. So 144 over 10, and then this is equal to 14.4. And that looks realistic. 14.4, not 41.4. That would be insane for someone like Amanda. Now, I'm not going to assume, but that's okay. If you got that right, good job. If you didn't hear the videos, there are plenty of them. And happy studying. Okay. Brenda can deliver 644 newspapers in 7 hours. How many newspapers can Brenda deliver in 9 hours? Same thing. Let's cross multiply. 644 over 7 times 9, So 644 times 9, I am going to use a calculator because that is a huge number. But if you absolutely have to and want to know how to do this, I would just multiply it by 10 and then get this number because you add a 0. And then you subtract 644. You take 4, you get 6, cross this out, 3, and then you get 13, which is 4 and 9. Multiply this, 3, 13, 7, 5, 5, 7, 9, 6. And that is indeed our answer. So, after we get that, now we divide that by 7 times 1, which is 7. So now we have to divide this, and I don't really have a method. I'm just going to use a calculator here. And this will give us 828. And if you guys do want a calculator, if you go over to your iPad and then search up, like, calculator, then there is a calculator that you can use. If you have a physical calculator, you can obviously use that. If you're on Android, I'm pretty sure they have a calculator app as well. But if not, you can download one on the App Store or Google Play or whatever. But yeah, anyways, it is 828 newspapers. So, if you got that right, great job. If you didn't, here are the videos, and happy studying. And yes, so it may not be ethical, but you guys can, that just means, like, it may not be, like, ideal or, like, you know, necessary or explanatory, but you guys can use, you are allowed to use, calculators in high schools, unless you go to, like, a weird, I mean, I don't know, it's really weird, but anyways, a plane flew at a constant speed and traveled 672 miles in 5 hours, so in 3 hours, how many miles would it travel in the same speed? So, we have 762 in 5 hours. We want the same speed in 3 hours. So let's cross multiply here, but this time we're adding some algebra. We are doing algebra. 762 times 3 is 2,286, and 5 times x is 5x. Now we divide each side by 5, and this will give us 457.2 miles. So this is our answer. Great work, everyone. If you got that right, good job. If you didn't, here are the videos, and happy studying. Okay, next problem. Okay, last problem, actually. Lynette can wash 95 cars in 5 days. How many cars can Lynette wash in 11 days? So, whoops. No. Nope. That was an accident. We will still be here, though. Okay, so we have 95 in 5 days. We want the amount in 11 days. So let's cross multiply again. So, a cool trick I like for multiplying 11, and like I think someone taught me this, but if you multiply by 11, you can add 9 plus 5, and then get 14, and then put the sum. So, 95 times 11, it should be 1,045. And yeah, I just confirmed it on my calculator. That's a cool trick to know. So what would 32 times 11 be? Well, you add 3 plus 2, put the sum in the middle, and then there's your answer. So 352. And this is because we have 320 because we already added 0 from the 10 method, and then we just add 32, which is really cool. It's really cool. Okay, and now, okay, so that is equal to this, 5x. We divide this by 5. X is equal to 209. So, in 11 days, Lynette can wash 209 cars. So, if you got that right, good job. If you didn't, here's the videos. And happy studying. Great work, everyone. There's only one more topic we are learning for this entire unit and episode. So, comparing rates. the price per night for a hotel room is different at 3 different hotels. Which hotel costs the least per night? So let's see here. So it's different at 3 different hotels. So, okay. So we want to get the price per night. So we have 192 over 3. So let's do this one first. So let's see how much this one will cost. 192 over 3 is 64. So that means there are $64 per night. 300 over 5. How much will this one be? It is $60 a night. So we know it's not A because we know B is less. So it's not A. Let's check C. 455 over 7 is equal to 65. So that means hotel B is the best because 60 is less than 64 and that's less than 65. So hotel B is our answer. If you got that right, good job. If you didn't, here are the videos. And happy studying. Okay. A baker has 3 banana muffin recipes. Recipe A uses 3 muffins to make 12 muffins. Recipe B uses 5 bananas to make 24 bananas. Recipe C uses 11 bananas to make 48 muffins. Rotendo tried to order the recipes from least to greatest by bananas per muffin, but he made a mistake. Here's his work. Okay. What was Rotendo's mistake? Well, let's see here. We have 3 bananas for 12 muffins. So we want muffins over bananas. So we should have this, 24 muffins over 5, and 48 muffins over 11. Let's see here. He made a mistake. I see what he did here. 4.8, is that greater than or less than 4.36? It's greater than. So the mistake is that he swapped these together. So let's see here. The number 4.36 is greater than 4.8. Well, first of all, I don't even have to look at this to know that this is wrong because that's just a general fact. So it's not A. So it's not A. Rutenda ordered by number of muffins instead of by bananas per muffin. Hey, wait a minute. How about that? We got 12 muffins here, and then 14, and then 48. So yeah, that would seem correct. Let's check C. Rutendo calculated muffins per banana instead of bananas per muffin. Well, even if he did calculate bananas per muffin, he still got this part wrong. So it should be B. See, wait, what? Oh. Okay, whoops. So I guess we are looking at bananas over muffins. So if you got that right, good job. You did better than me. And if you didn't, here are the videos. And happy studying. That's okay. We will do a bonus problem after that just to make up my terrible work. Okay. Bruna is comparing the pay for the advertised jobs. Find two ways could Bruna find the best paying job. Okay, so okay, so we want to find the best paying job. So let's kind of use some sense. Find the most find the least dollars paid per hour work. So least dollars per paid. Well, we don't want the least dollars, right? We want more money. So I don't think it's A. Find the most dollars paid per hour work. Here we go. We have most dollars. B could work. Let's try C. Find the least hours worked per dollar paid. Well, yeah, like least hours. Like imagine you're working $1 and you get $1. If so, I think C is right. And then most hours. Imagine you were working 5 hours and you got $1. You would want to work $1 an hour than getting $1 for 5 hours, which is 0.20. So it's not D either. The answers here must be B and C. If you got that right, good job. And if you didn't, see, there's no numbers in that one. See, there's something for some English folks right there. So if you got that right, good job. If you didn't, here's the videos, and happy studying. Okay, a community center is holding a raffle. The raffle below, the table below shows the number of tickets purchased and total price paid for 3 different people who paid the highest price per ticket. So here we go, same idea. We got 191 over 3. This is equal to 63.6 6 repeating, 309 over 5. So these are going to be decimals, so I am going to use a calculator. 61.8. So I know it's not going to be B because we want the highest priced. Okay, choice C. 435 over 8. And this is going to be equal to 54.3, and that's not even close to what we want. A is definitely going to be our answer in this problem. So, if you got that right, good job. Here's the answer explanation, and here's the videos, and happy studying. Okay, let's do a bonus problem just to make up my terrible work. 3 divers kept track of the number of crabs they've seen this year. Which diver saw the most crabs per dive? So, crabs per dive. So, when we want per, we want that number to be in the denominator. So, 33 over 11 is equal to 3. We didn't even need a calculator for that one. 81 over 18 is equal to 4.5. We want the most crabs, so we know it's not going to be Scuba Sam. Could be Wetsuit Willie. That's a funny name. Okay, Deep Dive Nan. 104 over 26. So over 26 is 4, and that won't be it either. We want the most. So Wetsuit Willie will be our answer. So it's B. If you got that right, good job. If you didn't, here are the videos, and happy studying. Well, okay, that is the end of ratios and rates. So now, okay, article, I don't know what this is. Oh, it's just a review. So yep, here's everything we need to know. Let's just go ahead and get right to it. Let's do quiz 4 first. And now I will go ahead and give you some time. And your quiz starts now. Good luck. What? 13.1. That's so broken. If you got 13.33, you're correct. They're being dumb. I'm so sorry. Yeah, if you if you got 13.3 on that, I'm so sorry. That is correct. Like I don't know how to put in fractions. Here we go. Here, let me just restart this. Okay, never mind. Alright, just go ahead and continue. Sorry. The answer is A. If you got that, good job. LeBron. Okay, I'm kidding. Answer is B and C. If you got that right, good job. The answer is 3. If you got that, good job. The answer is B. If you got that, good job. Okay, so nothing was tested, but that's fine. We got all of it correct. So now it is time for the unit test. So if you didn't watch the previous 2 videos that covered units 1 and 2, I would recommend go watching them right now because now this is going to cover everything. So here we go. It's time for the unit test. So I wish you guys the best. So good luck. The answer is B if you got that, good job. The answer is 35 and 6. If you got that right, good job. Answer is 52. If you got that right, good job. Remember to pause. Just saying. There's 4. For answers 4 and 11, if you got that right, good job. The answer is... The answer should be... Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Four times as much. Oh my gosh. Alright. Well, yeah, I had the idea though. Okay, check again. Okay, you've got the right, good job. Answer is B. If you got that right, good job. Very good job. B. D and... Oh, it's just B and D. If you got the right, good job. Answer is B. Got the right job. Answer is 27. If you got that right, good job. Answer is Randy. If you got that right, good job. Answer is C. If you got that right, good job. Should be... Should be this. And if you got that right, good job. Okay! Amazing job, everyone. We did not master it. If you want to go to Khan Academy and master the entire thing, then that would be amazing. But anyways, you have just mastered ratios and rates. Definitely the longest unit so far. So great job. You guys are doing amazing. You're crushing pre-algebra, and you're going to be ready for Algebra 1 in no time. So in our next episode, we're going to go over percentages. So I'm Landon Pitts, and I was your tutor today, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.